Was Philonise Floyd's passionate challenge to the House Judiciary Committee about finding justice after the insanely tragic death of his brother George while in police custody. He joins us right now with his attorney, Ben Crump. Let me first say, from all of us, we are sorry and devastated by your loss of your brother. And, you know, we're seeing lots of possibilities of change happening. So I want to ask you, because your brother was killed May 25th, and you laid him to rest in Houston last week at an amazing service which was watched all over the world, and you've described your brother as a gentle giant. Tell us a little more about how you all are doing right now as you go through these hard days.
Just stick around each other. Some of us might be down, some of us might be up at times. We just try to make sure each other is willing to walk and not crawl, because we loved him so much. And faith is having us together, and we don't want to struggle every day. We want to get through everything that's going on in life right now. My brother was a very loving person. He loved his family. My mom was handicapped. He used to pick her up and dance with her, and she just smiled at him. And we just used to laugh and joke, all us together. Just a big guy, big role model for the neighborhood. Everybody loved him. Everybody. He made everybody. Go ahead.
Mr. Floyd, thank you so much for your strength throughout all of this. It's really been incredible to watch the strength of you and your family grieve so publicly. Last week, you spoke to the House Judiciary Committee about police reform, and in your speech, you said you didn't want your brother's death to be in vain. There is now a national conversation happening about how the police should be reformed. What are the biggest changes that you want to see happen with policing in this country?
I want all police to serve and respect, like serve and protect. Every time I look up, I see somebody dying every day. Innocent people, they just die for no reason. If you're supposed to serve and protect, please wear your body cams. I want to see everybody doing what they're supposed to do the right way and not the bad way, because people, they just like nervous when they see police officers. You shouldn't have fear of officers. They're here to protect you.
Ben, Attorney Crump, in the past few months, we've seen the deaths of Breonna Taylor, George Floyd, and just last Friday night, we saw yet another fatal police shooting with the death of 27-year-old Rayshard Brooks in Atlanta. Now, today, President Trump plans to sign an executive order on police reform that will create a national database of police misconduct, urge social workers and mental health professionals to work more closely alongside frontline officers, and offer guidelines for new training and credentialing for police officers on de-escalating tense situations. What do you think about this, and what other changes are you calling for?
Sonny, you know, last week when Philonise and I testified before the United States Congress, I was asked by Representative Sheila Jackson Lee, why did I think this was a crisis that needed immediate congressional attention? And what I told her was, if we don't change the culture and the behavior of policing in America immediately, I predicted that in the next 30 days, we would have another unjustified police shooting and another city would be on fire. And that was on Wednesday, Sunday. 2 days later, on Friday night in Atlanta, Rayshard Brooks was killed unjustifiably. And so what I want to see from the top leadership in our country down is for us to make a real committed effort to changing the culture and the behavior of policing in America, where we don't have two justice systems in America, one for Black America and one for white America. We need equal justice for the United States of America. That is what we're striving for the legacy of George Floyd and Breonna Taylor and all the other hashtags that we've talked about over the years, Sonny.
Right. Mr. Floyd, my sincere condolences to your family. Derek Chauvin has been charged with second-degree murder, and the 3 other officers involved have been charged with aiding and abetting. You and the family have said repeatedly that you want justice for George, right? Well, what does justice look like for you? What do you want to see happen to these officers?
I think all the officers deserve life. I don't want to see this happen to another family. If we let them get away with this, other officers will feel like it's okay to do the same thing. I just want justice for my brother, and we get justice for him, we can help the world get closer.
So, Attorney Crump, Larry Kudlow, the guy in the White House's top economic advisor, said yesterday that he doesn't believe there's any systematic racism against black people in the United States. And on top of that, police unions don't seem to acknowledge that there is a problem and don't seem to want to recognize what folks are asking for. And I ask you this question: how are we supposed to take this? This is a denial of things that people are seeing with their own eyes. So how are we, as Americans, supposed to interpret this, and as Black Americans specifically?
You know, Whippy, we've been talking about this for decades, you know, about how Black people are treated in America. And in my book, Open Season, The Legalized Genocide of Colored People, I articulate that it's not just the police. They're the people, they're the low people on the totem pole. It's the highest institutions of our government that has to be responsive to this. The fact that we talked about in the book how they kill us in the streets on a regular basis, but it's more horrific how they kill us in courtrooms in every city, in every state, every day in America with these trumped up felony convictions that we have to wear like a cross on our backs for the rest of our lives. And they kill us slowly, Whippy. They kill our children slowly. And this has been done at the highest levels of government. So when we think about what happened to George Floyd, it just put it in perspective how this slow death, I mean, George was begging, saying, I can't breathe 16 times, Whippy. He said it for not 1 minute, not 2 minutes, not 3 minutes, not 4 minutes, not 5 minutes, not 6 minutes, not 7 minutes, not 8 minutes, but almost 9 minutes. He is begging for breath. And so we have to take a breath for peace. We have to take a breath for equal justice. We have to take a breath to heal our country. But most importantly, we have to take a breath for George, because the knee, not just of Officer Derek Chauvin, but the knee of the entire police department, the knee of the American system of government that has been historically racist, is what killed George Floyd.